What is up, guys? I'm Mikey31 here, bringing you an APF2K8 video. And some of you who are still playing this game has asked me to do this. Whether you're an SFL guy or just a guy playing season mode and want to try this sucker out, here it is. This is my run and shoot playbook for this game. Got to keep in mind this is a dated game. It doesn't have option routes or anything of that nature. So I basically had to be creative and build the playbook based off of passing concepts that not only attack multiple levels, but also build and complement each other. Like a series of post routes will have a post corner complement to it, or series of corner routes. Deep corners will have a corner post. You'll have hitch concepts with a hitch and go, quick out concepts with a out and in, or vice versa, and arrow and up based off of an arrow concept or an arrow trailing concept, things like that, and levels concepts and all that good stuff. So it's pretty simple. I mean, formation wise, you really only have quads flips, trips, tray, then shotgun, tray right, quads left, trips left, tray open, trips open, and tray open. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have like 6, 7, 8, 9 formations here. And you may have to throw in a traditional I formation just for depth chart purposes, but that's really it. Going through this, the only difference between quads and quads flip is who's on the line of scrimmage. In quads, your X and Z receivers to the outside are on the line of scrimmage. Your slots are backed off. Quads flip is the opposite. Trips and tray are just, directional. And, same thing here. I have trips open and tray open. Well, simply because there were plays in there that I liked. But I didn't break the integrity of the structure of the offense. But let's go with quads. And like I said, quick out. You have a levels concept there. High-low. 2 outs to one side with, a check down swinging out into the backfield if you don't like what you see. Play action deep post. And for the running game, you have your draw and sprint draw. I tend to prefer zone running, but I do have some man blocking plays like dive and we counter tray. Not too much in the way of powers. I have a couple in the shotgun. The running game is pretty basic. I mean, I prefer the zone runs. Wonky things tend to happen when you have pulling linemen, so I try to avoid that as much as possible. Going back to the passing game, quick out, you have that double out concept to your right, and a outside release streak by the slot, and post to your left. Z deep post, it's a high-low hitch post read, check down to the back. Sometimes you can hit that square in there, or if you like what you see on the left, you have a high-low between the a high-low slash flat middle read between the slot and the X. Arrow, Z arrow is a trail concept basically. Think of wide trail in Madden, for example. You have the post by the slot to your right, followed by a sharp cutting arrow route. Not really a slant, but just a straight sharp cut right behind him. You actually have twin arrow routes. You have the one being run by the Z receiver and also by L1 in the slot. But this is a good play to either quickly hit the one of the two slots, or if you pull the defense to the post, you just replace him with that arrow route receiver. And here's the arrow and go. Giving a sharp cut out to the seam with a hitch check down. You also have a shallow in as well, and a deep post combo to the right. Roll out Z in and out. Sharp cut breaking in into the outside, hence the name. And a post corner route, you know, like I was saying. You have some slot posts. When you catch someone shading to the inside, you bust that post corner, or shading to the inside for well, in this game, the entire defense will shade to the inside, but you'll have that runaway out to, you know, attack that along with the post corner. And you have a backside shallow cross post combo. Z hook, this time the outside receiver is running the hook, the inside receiver is running a square in. Get a quick hitch to the left if you need to get the ball out of there quick. Z stops, multiple square ins and hitches. Well, hitches really. One shallow square in. Out and in, the reverse of the in and out. And this is red like smash, really. You have the corner route being run behind it. Slant and stops, the inside receiver is running the stops, and the outside receiver is basically running, it's not really a slant, it's more of a skinny post right behind them. This is your switch concept, deep crossers. Slot outs with the HB angle. Deep comeback. You can hit the seam real quick sometimes. Especially if, you know, attention is being pulled over to the Z, or if you're playing a cover 3 and the steep safety rotates to the post. The old shovel pass. And play action off the stretches. I like to have play action that complement the whatever run action I have in the playbook. So you have play action stretch to each, you know, direction. Your sprint draw. Your little belly here, counter belly, and the play action counter for that. Deep drag. You have a really deep banana route there. Banana drag, I like to call it, and you have a shallow square in underneath it. There's your shallow cross, your garden variety shallow cross. That's pretty much designed like any other shallow cross that you'll see. Shallow cross with a square in behind. My shallow cross, quick outs. You also have that arrow route being run by the slot. Here's your post corner. If the post is established and you see the defense shading inside, bust that bad boy out, and that's the opposite here, corner post. And again, I always have a nice little safe outlets hitch. On the right side, again, read it like smash, low to high, high to low, whatever. Have hook and go. So they all kind of complement each other. Square in with a seam streak. Square in should do a good job with it. It's a really deep square in. It should do a nice job of clearing space deep before anyone can rotate deep. If you have space, just bang the freaking seam route in there. If you need to check it down, you got that one other hitch and a post behind it if someone's creeping down on the hitch as well. Smash here. Another high-low here. So structurally, all the pass plays are pretty much the same, but they all make sequential sense. As much as I could, you know, make it. It's not just pass plays for the sake of having pass plays in there. Quads flip, you have pretty much the same plays. Got this lob fade here that's not in the quad set. Get a nice little outside release. Off the line of scrimmage, harder to bump. Sprint post is a little bit different in this set than the other. You have an arrow coming in underneath the deep post. You also have an outlet going to the flat in your back. The counter post is a bit different as well. You have a shallow in underneath and a deep out. This plays more or less the same. It's just the position of the receivers. If you want to run more, powers and whatnot, and toss sweeps with pulling linemen, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. I just prefer zone stretches to get outside. So I can always cut them back in based on the flow without having someone obstruct my path or vision. Roll out Z in and out. To run away against man coverage on that in out. And you have shallow cross and post breaking towards where you're rolling out to. Y speed out here is where you begin to see those flat seam reads. If you have a soft corner, you just hit that speed out and get yak. If you have a hard corner, one of those two hitches should be open. When in doubt, check down or look to the backside in. And this is a rollout version of the same concept, basically, except you have a levels being run to the flat. So if you have a hard corner to attacking the flat, you can hit the deeper out behind them. Or if you're feeling, like getting your rocket QBs deep passing on, hit that post as well, behind everything that's covered two, for example. Same concept here, but this time you have the outside release fade attacking deep, and the quick out being run by L1. Deep comeback this time being run solo side.
What do you say about his companies? What do you say about society? Catch the mist, catch the myth, catch the mystery, catch the drift.
Again, weak draw, strong trap, weak outside zone. Again, you have a flat seam middle read here to your right. Arrow and go single side. Shallow cross with a levels concept. This is a really good levels concept here. Shallow cross with, on the right side, two square ends at multiple depths. And a post behind those. So while I don't have my option routes, I at least have concepts that build off of each other. So I can pretty much dial up what I feel like I'm being played to run, if that makes sense. Like if someone's overcommitting to the short, shallow crosses, you have a play like this, clear drags. You have the back shooting out and another deep drag being run behind the shallow. And if the flat is wide open with a soft corner, I can hit the L1. If a corner is being played hard and that out is taken away, I got a square end play like this. So, depending on how you're setting up your audibles, you should be able to dial up something to throw it where they ain't, which is the run and shoot mantra. Like if you're establishing slants and you see the defense starting to play inside shade, you have this play X hot with a outside release fade. Switch concept here with a check down hitch and an arrow and go to the solo side. Allow flood. And here's another flat seam concept. The seam, well, the vertical thread is being run by the outside receiver. The run and shoot, this would be the go concept, where triangle would be running either a square in, post, dig, stop, or streak. But since we don't have the option route here, you know, L1 is your flat read, circle is pushing vertical, and you have the stop route being run by triangle. And you also have on the solo side a curl runaway in combo against man. If you have nothing to the right, that receiver will run away from man coverage against zone. He'll sit a little bit before he runs that in. So against zone, if you don't have anything to the right and he's sitting there, you know, all by himself in the left, hit it. Or you can wait for him to move and find space. Or if you're an SFL, you pray that your quarterback's smart enough to do that on his own. That's really a fun league concept. I hope I can get in that sucker at some point. And shotgun, basically the same concept, but from the gun. Nothing really changes. I do have a strong sweep here with a pulling guard. So it's really pretty simple here. I have this, you know, quick screen for the outside receiver. Z quick screen. Got some QB draws here. I prefer a lead draw just to kind of get a body in front of him. So, you know, formation-wise and schematically, it's not very complicated at all, but everything kind of complements each other. You know, you gotta make lemons out of lemon. You gotta make lemonade out of lemons. Not to say that, you know, this playbook editor is a lemon. It's actually a very good playbook editor. You can pretty much build whatever kind of offense you want. But, you know, you gotta take into consideration that the game is old, so you're not gonna have any, you know, pistol type of plays, any options or anything of that nature. But, you know, the core passing concepts that you need and the core, you know, running concepts that you need to build a sound offense is, you know, right there. You can build a all shotgun spread offense. You know, all these shotgun formations here. You can build a classic West Coast offense with I, pro set, near and far sets. Single back. Whatever you want. If you want to run an offense which is all power run, that you can do. Defense the same way. You can pick and choose what plays you want. You want to play a Seahawks style cover 3, cover 1 type of under front defense. You can load up your playbook with cover 3, cover 1 shells. With your occasional change-up play to keep, you know, things honest. If you want to build an aggressive zone blitz 3-4, you can do that. Aggressive man blitz, you can do that. Hybrid, you can do that as well. You don't really have much in the way of limitations as far as a playbook editor goes. It's really excellent. The interface can be a little bit of a pain, but you know, you gotta find it. You gotta choose your play somehow. So I think I covered everything. So if you're an SFL player and this tickles your fancy, feel free to try it out. I hope you prosper. If you're in season mode player and you want to wing the ball around, try it out. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. So that is it. Hope you guys enjoy. Talk to you all later. Peace.